Good morning, it's Lisa and Harry here for our 10 minutes at 10 for everyone. So today, what are we going to talk about, Harry?
So actually, I think what we're going to cover today is actually also important to have a look at what we've already covered. So earlier on this week, we were talking about your personal vision. So we need to establish what your personal vision is. And then a little bit later on in the week, we covered your business vision. So slightly different aspects, but both very important. You need to make sure the two align, or you need to work out how they can align. So out of curiosity, if any of you have any personal visions you wish to share, please feel free to. And likewise, if you have any business visions, also feel free to share those as well.
Yes. So Harry, talk through your personal vision. What's your goal for the future?
I have several. So basically, I'm going to start off with saying I am hoping to become a dad. That's my next
Project.
big aim. Project. That's my next big aim.
Dad project with Naomi.
Yeah. And that also leads to other challenges in itself. I love the house I'm in now, but also when you to establish a family, we're going to eventually outgrow the house. Not for a good few years, but it will happen. So further down the line, I'll be looking to hopefully upsize, get something with a little bit more space. And so that's part of my aim. I'm also writing a book, and I'd love to become a published author when it's finally finished. It actually turned into a trilogy, got a bit carried away with that. So that one's a really, I can visualize that one really clearly. In fact, I can visualize them both very, very clearly. I can imagine the house being big. I can imagine a four-bedder. I can imagine the book being held in my hands. I can imagine it being signed and stuff like that. Mm. So yeah, it's quite eye-opening, really.
Yeah. So you've set your vision and you've imagined it, so you can touch it, you can feel it, you can see it. And for me, if it were going out and traveling, you can almost taste the air where you are in a mountain or on a beach or something
salty
like
breeze.
That. The salty breeze, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So we looked at setting your personal vision. So have you set yours? Have you done your homework? What's your personal vision? Just add it in the comments below. What do you want to achieve out of life? Where do you imagine yourself in 10 years' time?
Might just be one aspect, because there's like mine, I've got several.
Yeah,
so it might just be
layers.
that you just go, okay, I've got all these layers. I'm going to pick this one. This is the one that I'm going to share. This is the one I want to share. It might be something that you're particularly inspired by, particularly proud of to have as a vision. So yeah, I'm quite confident with sharing mine. I'm happy with that. I have more, but that's just a little bit of a taster.
Right. So then on Tuesday, we looked at setting your business vision. So your business vision, mine, for example, is a Google-esque type accountancy practice, a digital accountancy practice. So we're halfway there, but we're not very Google-esque. I want to be able to travel. I want to be able to see the world, and I want to do that while I'm still running my business, because I still have bills to pay. But obviously I want to spend more time with my family and take them to places and do things that just there's so much to see and do now, and with Instagram and Facebook and the internet, just the world is so much more open than it was before. So I don't know about you, but I get tagged in things of, beautiful destinations and amazing sites around the world. And I often think, oh, that's lovely, I want to go there. And then I flick over onto the next feed. But actually...
How much?
Yeah, but actually, exactly how much. We went to a travel agent about a year ago and looked at a holiday to the Maldives, which is where we went on our honeymoon 20 years ago. And, 20 years ago, it was affordable for two youngsters getting married. Now you're talking about 20 grand to take the family. Well, you need a mortgage for that, my goodness me. So going to the Maldives, as is probably not on my list of things to do anymore. So we change and we adapt. But the world is much smaller from what you can see on the internet and what comes up on your feeds. So it helps you identify what it is that you want. Or certainly for me, there's, I often think I'd like to do that, or I'll do that, or I tag my husband and my kids in it. And we all think, oh yeah, that's great. But why don't we use those to start crystallizing our personal visions and our business visions? To achieve our personal vision, our business vision has to deliver whatever cash, time, freedom, whatever it is that we need to achieve in order to go and live our personal vision. So our next step in our vision setting for this week is to turn those goals, those visions, into objectives. So today in the BBB Club, we're going to be looking at how to turn those goals into objectives and what's the difference between a goal and an objective. And then we're going to talk about how to make it specific. And if it is specific, it's much more likely to be achieved, and you're much more likely to know when you have achieved that. We're going to be looking at SMART objectives and what SMART objectives mean. So some of you have heard of the specific, measurable, actionable, or achievable, depending on which acronym you've heard, realistic and time-bound. But what does that really mean when you're trying to write your own objectives? We're also going to look at what keeps you awake at night. Now, if you've got an objective and you're trying to achieve something for the future, if that doesn't seek to resolve whatever keeps you awake at night, there's probably something not quite right about that objective, and maybe you want to rethink it and reconsider it.
Yeah, it does really get you thinking, doesn't it?
Well, it does, doesn't it?
Because that's the thing, the objectives, sometimes the goalposts, they move slightly, just slightly. So sometimes you need to go, okay, this is the vision I want to get to. This is the objective I need to put in place. And then what we're also going to be looking at is actually evaluating that a little bit as well. And then you might actually realize that your objectives tweak just ever so slightly when you have another look at it. So it's actually a really useful concept. It basically helps cement what you should actually be aiming to achieve, what you should actually be actioning in order to achieve the result you're looking for.
Yeah, so tomorrow's task is going to be, we're going to be looking at how to turn these objectives into action plans. So it's really important today that we understand what those objectives are, and take 10 to 15 minutes just to work out from your visions what objectives you need in order to achieve those visions.
So that does mean if you are in the BBB Club, the homework will be exceptionally useful.
For tomorrow.
Yeah, it will make a big difference, as it will help. Basically, it'll be the starting point. It'll be your foundations to building into your action plans. So really useful to have a look into that. And if you haven't done it already, now's a good time to get ahead on it.
Do your homework.
Yeah.
So talking of the BBB Club, one of the things that I wanted to keep everybody in touch with is our experience going through this Stu McLaren's tribe membership. So he has a membership club on how to create membership clubs. So we've joined that, paid the fees to get in and join. And I have to say, it runs at breakneck speed. The amount of time and effort that Stu McLaren goes in to helping people define what they want to achieve, how they want to do it, how they want to deliver it, it is incredible, quite inspiring. So this 10 minutes at 10 is actually something that I've taken from Stu McLaren. So, but he does 10 questions at 10 in quite often not 10 minutes. So because we've sat in on his Facebook Lives where it's supposed to be 10 questions in 10 minutes, and sometimes you're sitting there still 2.5 hours later while he's going through stuff. But it's spontaneous, it's flexible, and it's amazing. So it's taking up an awful lot of time to work out what we're trying to do and how we're trying to do it, and make sure that we do it right and add value, which is obviously what Stu McLaren is doing for us. So it's been a roller coaster journey. The biggest challenge we've had so far is technology. I mean, seriously.
I know. The ironic part is it's technology that's worked for us before, and
for a long
it's
time.
just decided, don't feel like working today.
It's insane. We
Still
use,
in bank holiday mode, I think.
Well, yeah, I don't know. So we use Loom, which is a video recorder. It's a screen capture recorder that works from your browser. So Loom is brilliant for those quick 5 or 10 minute videos. If, say, we want to record, an issue with Xero, and we're taking the client through several steps to resolve this issue, or we use it to do a management accounts review for some of the clients. So Loom works really, really well, and we've used it for since it came out, maybe 2-3 years ago. And this week it decides it doesn't want to work for us. It's glitchy. We lose sound. The video doesn't record properly. It's sod's law, isn't it? So, and then the other one is Zoom. So Loom for screen capture. Zoom is more of a webinar tool, but it's really good for also recording presentations. Now, Zoom has never failed us yet this week, sometimes you record a presentation and it records, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it downloads and it imports into the third-party software that Paul uses to chop the beginning and the end off, where we're going, what button, where we're pressing, what do we need to do? Oh, we need to get out of this screen. So that then doesn't work properly. So it's incredible. The stuff that we've used for years, today, this week, when we want to go live, doesn't want to work. But that's sod's law for you, isn't it? So, you know, you just have to keep pushing forward and moving on. So Amanda says, I've not had a chance to look at the course yet. That's no problem, because we re-recorded modules 1, 2 and 3 yesterday, and I released them all this morning. So modules 1, 2 and 3 and the beautiful little workbooks are there. So if you get 10 or 15 minutes, log in, do your homework, and then we'll be ready for tomorrow to turn these objectives into actual action plans. So that's the tough bit. It's the bit that people really struggle with. So everybody knows what they want to achieve, but turning it into an actual plan that we can action over, you know, however many months, years we want to achieve it, is where people get thrown out and it all gets terribly complicated, and then they give up and then they just carry on doing what they did and then get frustrated because they don't achieve their objectives. So, and that's what this week is trying to address.
Yeah.
So,
sorry, you were going to say something. No, there was something else. Oh yeah, I remember what it was I was going to say. Yeah, also I was going to say, one of the beauties with the courses, I know you haven't got around to watching it just yet, Amanda, but good thing about it is it's one of these courses where you can either pick it up a little bit at a time, or you can just binge watch it. So we're pretty flexible on that. It's whatever really works for you. So don't feel too pressured. But yes, the homework, really important. And as Lisa mentioned, the action plans are going to be really, really key. They are a little bit more tricky, but it's just because actually when you look at your vision and start really pinning it down and saying, this is what I need to do, all of a sudden it becomes so much more real. But actually that's going to make all the difference.
I think so. And the other thing we've found when we've been through this with people before is when you're looking at your personal vision, it sometimes doesn't align with your business vision. So you might be running a business and working for a company that you know, it's a job and you're there from the 9 to 5 because you have to be. Quite often you find that doesn't align with your personal goals. You want to go and be an artist, you want to go and be a plumber, you want to go and do something entirely different. So actually your business then, or your job as it stands at the moment, has to deliver enough resources for you to be able to go and train, or find the time to train, or find the effort to find the time and the money to train in order to do something different. So action plans can be set for your personal objectives, for your business objectives, or potentially for your new business objectives, if actually you've worked out that your direction in life is going somewhere entirely different. So food for thought. So go and log into the BBB Club, download your workbooks, and let's see you again tomorrow. So thank you very much for joining us. So that's our not quite 10 minutes at 10 o'clock, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.